Hey, it's Carl from artofshred.com, and I am here with the G&L Placentia ASAT Bluesboy in Espresso. In my unboxing video, it got a pretty good review, and this is the problem, for me anyway, with unboxings. But we all make mistakes as far as unboxings go. I've learned a few things that I'll know for next time. Just like the previous unboxing, the Squier T7, I also learned a few things which I used for this unboxing. All that to say, I am returning this guitar, or I'm going to try to. I haven't contacted them yet. Let's first start with the good. I like the finish. It's nice, no blemishes, looks good. The guitar just in general looks good. It feels nice. It has a nice feel to it. The neck feels nice. You know, some of this is personal preference, but that's all good. I like the sound of the pickups. I did a short sound demo in the last video, and I'm not going to do another one today because a lot of people have done videos on this guitar by now. You can get a general idea of what it sounds like. I think the pickups sound fine. Never the best pickups in cheap guitars, but also not the worst in this one. And I would say they're good. I like them. At $270, I don't think it's overpriced, which is the sale price of these guitars. At $450, it's a 100% no. In the unboxing video, I was thinking, you know, these maybe compare to a Squier Classic Vibe series. Obviously not the Jazzmaster, but a Squier Classic Vibe series as far as quality and all of that. I've updated my assessment. It's more along the lines of a Squier Affinity series, which are around the $300 price range. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's just a little bit of over-promising and under-delivering if you're calling this a G&L ASAT. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Let's get to some of the bad. Now, I didn't notice some of this until I started doing a setup. That's another kind of, I guess, maybe lesson learned for future unboxings is maybe I can start doing a basic setup. But the problem with that is I like to review guitars as they come in, so I like to play with them for a few hours before I do a setup. So it makes unboxings a little bit difficult for the review style I want to do. So we'll see what happens in the future if I do future unboxings and what I do. One thing for sure I know I need to do in future unboxings is check if the frets are level or not. All right, so that brings me to the first thing with this guitar. Multiple high frets. And so there was no fret buzz in the first video, but I also mentioned in the first video how high the action was. Once I lowered the action, even just to 2 millimeters, which is still a little too high for my liking, but I mean, it's fine. You know, it's all, again, this type of thing is personal preference, but multiple frets are high, lots of string buzz at 2 millimeters. To take it even below 2 millimeters, it's just more prominent. So for future unboxings, I know I need to check that strings or the frets are level. I do have the ability to level frets. I've got Fret Guru sanding block or sanding beam, and I have some other Fret Guru tools like the fret end file and a crowning tool. For a guitar that's supposed to be $450, that's a lot to ask. Like, yes, a guitar at $450 might need a basic setup. You know, almost every guitar needs to do like intonation setup and stuff like that. But to have to do a full fret level is too much to ask. Just way too much. So just poor marks on that from G&L. One big thing that happened, it's an easy fix, but I just didn't notice it in unboxing, is the neck was crooked. So the saddles were crooked, the neck if you looked at it, and I don't know if it comes across in that video, and unfortunately I didn't take photos because I fixed it. So now it's straight, and it's an easy fix, and I'll link a Phil McKnight video on how to do that. And it's a somewhat common, or let's say not completely uncommon problem on Squiers and, you know, the cheaper end guitars like that, or like the Squier Bullets. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed. I've seen it like twice, so it's a thing that I didn't think to really look for. It's an easy fix, but you do have to unscrew slightly the neck and kind of push it. I'll link the video, you can see how Phil McKnight does it. That's the way I did it. Speaking of the bridge saddles being out of alignment because of the neck, they're just really cheap. Like, I love, you know, individual saddles. There's nothing wrong with individual saddles at all in this style. Like, when you start adjusting them, you can feel they're just, it's one of those things. It's just, I guess, just a feeling. If you've touched enough guitars and you've adjusted enough guitars, and I don't know any other really way to put it. They're just cheap. And even now, looking at them, like the neck's straight now, but because the saddles were probably in their crooked state for so long, they are not straight. There's actually, in the bridge plate, there's like grooves from the saddle screws, and I think the saddles kind of want to slip into those old grooves that aren't in alignment. And so anyway, yeah, it's just a little disappointing that that's the case. That said, I don't think it really, once you straighten the neck, it doesn't really affect playability. It just, the saddle screws are just, I didn't like them. I didn't like dealing with them, setting them up. Partly that's personal preference, but partly that's, if you've adjusted enough guitars, you're gonna feel like, you just get a feeling like, okay, this is not a piece of crap, and this is a piece of crap. And I'm not saying this is total crap, but yeah, they're cheap. Another complaint a lot of people have is the frets, just in general, being thin. I don't personally have a problem. I do like, if I have a choice, I do prefer jumbo frets. I don't have a huge issue with the fret style. One of the bigger things is, and I kind of touched on it earlier, is I think G&L is doing a disservice to their reputation with these, because they are known as a really quality guitar brand, and these are not up to their standards in almost any capacity. And so it's kind of a race to the bottom, and I don't want to be a part of it. I understand that's their business decision. They can do whatever they want, and maybe they've figured if we have a decent enough cheap guitar, eventually people will buy our more expensive guitars. I don't really want to contribute to that. I have no issues with cheap guitars. You know, I've reviewed a bunch of them. I've liked a bunch of them. This just irks me, the kind of the over-promising and the trading on the G&L brand, which has a strong reputation, and just not offering that G&L quality. This seems like I'm being super negative on this guitar. I think it's, again, at $270 if you're buying it on sale. I don't think you'll be unhappy with it, assuming you don't have the problems that I had. Which brings me to my final point. Probably don't buy this online if you're gonna buy it. Buy it at the store so you can put your hands on it. And if you do buy it online, you know, I guess just, I hope you get one of the better ones. Like this, this has an inspection sticker saying it was set up. It wasn't. I think they just looked it over quickly, but it wasn't set up. No way. This guitar requires extensive setup. Anyway, I think I've rambled enough about this guitar. I will say, if you like it, if you like the style, if you want that humbucker in the neck and the single coil at the bridge, go to a store and check it out. And you obviously have to go to a Guitar Center, because this is a Guitar Center Musician's Friend exclusive. But go there, put your hands on it, see how it feels, see how you like it. It's comparable to an Affinity. Again, most likely you're in the market for, you know, that style. Is that enough with the rambling, you think? It's ultimately not a bad guitar. I'll leave it up to you if you should buy it. I don't give this one that I received a good review, and I don't recommend this one. To reiterate, if you're gonna buy it, check it out in person. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time.